Hi, the Q&A is not happening yet because I haven't gotten any comments really about any questions, but I'm still going to try doing this podcast. Anyways, today I am explaining the origins of Hot Dog and Friends, what happened during production of Sky High, and a bit of what happened during episode 2. It's a lot to say, so this will probably be a pretty long podcast. Anyways, so Hot Dog and Friends first began because I did it with my friends in grade school. We were bored, I think, and we started playing on a notebook, and then we created our own version of tic-tac-toe, but with 3 players, and instead of, to be clear, in my school there was this own version we had of tic-tac-toe where I don't know if any other schools or any other people had this, but there would be the circle, the square, and then there would also be a star or an X. Oh wait, no, not the square. A circle, an X, and a star. Yeah, that. So basically, my friends and I made our own little spin on it called Hot Dog Pizza Burger. So I would play as the hot dog. One of my friends, Spanky Berry, would play as pizza, and then the other one, Other at HQ, would play as burger. And we found the concept pretty interesting, and then basically, if you lost, your food player would be sacrificed to a dog to be eaten. I don't know why we thought of that, why couldn't it be something else? You're not gonna see that anymore in the show. But, yeah. And then I got inspired, because at the time I was kind of popular in my class, because I would make comics. I would make lots of doodles and comics, and people like looking at my art style and my weird ass sense of humor. But it is weird because I looked back at my old drawings and it has horrible humor, horrible grammar, horrible spelling, because back then everyone thought it was cool and funny to have horrible spelling and grammar. And then it's and then that derp face. Everyone liked that derp face. Anyways, so I made that comic, and I showed it to my friends, and they really liked it. And it slowly came from a game, Hot Dog Pizza Burger. It slowly became from a game to a comic. I don't have the original comic, but I can explain what happened in the comic. Basically, it's pretty similar to Sky High, actually. They're both versions involve the food being created by a scientist. In the Sky High, it was Dr. Stupid, but in the OG comics, it was never really specified who. There was this bald scientist, but I never said his name, so he's not Dr. Stupid necessarily. Anyways, so what would have happened was the hot dog would have been made in a lab, they injected some substance into a hot dog. And then there would be some radioactive storm somehow. I don't know. I remember the comic, but I don't know. My writing choices were really weird and unrealistic. But a pizza became radioactive from radioactive hot sauce, and I think while a burger was being made, it got struck with lightning. Anyway, so the hot dog turned to life at the laboratory. The laboratory was called Crap Lab because I loved saying crap. Now I like saying damn and hell. Anyways, so, yeah, Hot Dog, he burst free, and he hit the scientist with a frying pan. And I don't know if you can see in Sky High, but Hot Dog does that exact same thing to Dr. Stupid. Yeah, there were a lot of references to the comic in Sky High that you guys probably didn't know, because, I haven't told you guys about the comic. And basically, what happens is that Hot Dog ran away. Yeah. He ran away into the big city. I don't remember what the city was called, but I think it was called Crap City. Yeah, no. Yeah, this was before I decided to make it take place in Ohio. I'm sorry, the Ohio meme's kind of dead, but I wanted to reference the dead meme a bit, so, So, Hot Dog ran off, and he had to sleep in this junkyard, and then that's where he met Pizza and Burger. And it is so weird because they instantly became friends, and then they got eaten by a dog, swallowed whole. And then when they were inside the dog's stomach, they had to jump around with forks to make the dog burp them out or vomit them out. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't know what DeviantArt was at the time. I didn't know about that fat fetish stuff, but either way, so yeah, the dog burped. I think either burped or vomited them out, and then, they were free again, and then they decided to sleep. And then there was this part where Hot Dog had a nightmare where Burger and Pizza were being eaten. It's really weird because Hot Dog is shown in the original comic as this naive, caring person, and then in the series he's like the worst person ever. He's like an absolute a-hole. Like, oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, he had a nightmare about that. So somehow him, Burger, and Pizza instantly become friends. And back then, their personalities were very one note. Actually, no, they didn't even have personalities. Because I didn't want to give them, for example, I didn't want to make any of the characters mean. Because I didn't want to offend my friends. Because back then, we associated the characters with ourselves. Like, I was Hot Dog, Spanky Berry was Pizza, and Otherite was Burger. So, you know how that works. Anyways, so I couldn't really create any of the characters having personalities. But then later on, I think the comic, my friends, they spread it around my class, and a lot of more people became my friends and they created characters for it. So for example, Ryoken's, he stepped in and he created Fries, who is now Hot Dog's enemy, and they hate each other now. And then, Snicks created Ramen, probably because he liked anime at the time. And then Beast Boostin created Milk. He was a pretty quiet person. Ryuken's in my class, it was, I didn't know him at all, because he was in the way back of the class. I don't even know how he heard about the comic. And then lastly, Adastation chose Pickle. For a pretty inappropriate joke that I'm not sure if I can say here. But let's just say it looks like, a rooster. Yeah, a rooster. It's supposed to be a rooster. Yeah, that's why it's Pickle. It's really awkward, because, all of them are, food, and then Pickle's, a vegetable. Actually, no, Pickle's not a vegetable, it's a fruit. Because, it's a cucumber, and then cucumbers have seeds, so, that's that. So, and as time went on, we still continued the series. Basically, they would just, have fun, do random things. And, yeah, more and more people heard about the comic, and they made more and more characters. For example, Boba and Sushi and, S'more, kind of? Actually, no, S'more has a completely different origin story. I'll have to explain that later on. But, yeah. And then, how was Baguette made? Okay, so, you call me weird if you want. I know lots of people nowadays, especially children, they say shipping is cringe, okay? But I was honestly thinking the opposite. I was thinking, okay, if we give one of the characters a love interest, that would make up for some pretty funny jokes. So I created Baguette. So no, Whack, my sister, did not create Baguette at all. No, Baguette was created by me, and, will Baguette and Hot Dog actually ever get together? I won't explain that. I won't say. You're gonna have to find out later on in the show. Wait, hold on, I'm getting a call. Remind me later. Okay, anyways, so, yeah. We were having a bunch of fun with the comic, but, school kind of ended early, earlier than planned. Summer happened so abruptly, so I kind of wasn't able to hang out with my friends anymore. They live far from me, so I didn't really know where they lived, and we didn't have Google Chat, so we couldn't, come back, and it was, yeah, so, but then we reunited again online, and we brought back Hot Dog and Friends. It was going to be, more humanized. The characters would be more human-like. No, they're not going to be completely humanized. No, that's stupid. I mean, they would be, in a human-like world, as if, in this world, the humans were the food, And, oh, yeah, I have to mention the origin of S'more. Yeah, okay, here's the origin of S'more. So, Sock, my cousin, created this character called Sausage. And basically, he was meant to be Hot Dog's cousin. I think it was his way of making a self-insert, but I kind of found it as him just copying the hot dog character, which I created. So I kind of found it as an offense. But then turns out he also made another character that everyone forgot about, named S'more. He was just like a biscuit, and then marshmallow, and then a biscuit. Everyone forgot about him. Like nobody ever talked about S'more because he was kind of insignificant. There was no reason to use him. He was just another random background character. Because all the characters that all of those people and my classmates recommended and gave to me, I didn't want to put them in the plot. That's too much characters. But I wanted to preserve them somehow by making them background characters. So you'll see some of that. For example, okay, I'll share some, like Waffle. Yeah, Waffle was like, I think he was recommended by like one of my classmates. And then there's Cookie, and then all that stuff. Like, all that stuff. Anyways. So, yeah, S'more was just insignificant, and I told Sock, okay, can we like ditch the idea of sausage existing? I don't really appreciate him being a copy of hot dog. That's why in episode 1, Sky High, you can actually see Sausage's planned design. He was just gonna be hot dog with no bun, a conjoined twin, and glasses. Yeah, it's not that great. But we swapped them out because I didn't want to completely let down the role. And I thought, so you may have noticed in Sky High, Fries' personality is really different. Because, so in episode 1, I was planning, Fries was just going to be this weapon-obsessed maniac. Like, he would love firearms, he would love guns, he was interested in war, he liked World War, he liked watching World War movies, he was basically Tord from Ed's World, okay? I'm sorry, it's not that original. That's why for episode 3, I want to really improve the series in originality. I want it to be its own thing. I don't want it to be exactly known as an object show, but I don't really want it to be known as being excluded from the object show community at the same time. So, that happened, and we switched out Sausage for S'more. But S'more needed a redesign because his original design had no chocolate, and lots of people aren't familiar with one with chocolate, so yeah, I guess S'more's redesign was really simple. But anyway, so yeah, I won't document much of episode 2, but basically the reason for Fries' personality change was because a lot of drama happened in my family because I put guns and I put someone who was obsessed with guns in the show and even like tested it out on his friends. Like they kind of thought, oh, it's not that family friendly, it's not good, like it's not good morals and stuff, because I don't blame my family, because when they see animation they're gonna think it's for kids, they're gonna think it's for all ages, but no, that's not really the case, because you have cartoons like Ed's World, and Ed's World is kind of, I don't know what age rating Ed's World is, and then there's like Has-Been Hotel and Haluva Boss and whatnot, and also Asdif movie, that has blood and lots of stuff about suicide, so you know what I mean. So yeah, it's pretty hard to see. It's not hard to understand why members of my family were kind of upset at me for making the show be like that, especially since guns aren't funny. Gun violence, it's not a joke, like honestly, I'm sorry if you've been like threatened with a gun, like honestly I feel bad for you. A gun's a really dangerous weapon. So I changed Fries' personality and made Pizza tell to Fries at the end that maybe you shouldn't use guns all the time. They're pretty dangerous. You can hurt someone. And then Fries actually abides. He agrees. And to me, that's what changes Fries' personality after episode 1. Because in episode 2, he's not really as much of a maniac anymore. He's not a sociopath. He's just a nerd. He just really likes guns. He's a weapon. He's a weapon enthusiast. It's not anything maniac-ish. You have tons of people out there and like stuff in like places like the States who like actually find firearms as their hobbies, and they use it on targets. They like shooting old cars. They go into junkyard and they use a shooting range, stuff like that. I wanted Fries to be more like that. Well, I didn't specifically say he should be like that, but I think it naturally happened because I wanted to normalize Fries. He couldn't be just this maniac. That's not a good character. Not because I was being forced to kind of make it family friendly. No, like that kind of personality is genuinely just flat. So, his personality changed. Anyways, that's the end of this podcast-ish thing. I'll probably make a part 2 about episode 2 stuff, but, this is the origin of Hot Dog and Friends, and a bit about Sky High and some drama that happened. Thank you. This has been an episode of the Squiddery stuff.